to the affidavit, which did not say that it was Mr. Allen who shot the agent. So that still has not been established. And this article was written for today.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just like struggling to find that. In any world, that building would have been even like.
Well, he suddenly sprinted.
No, you're
in the landing meter. So he came running from somewhere. Which direction? I have no idea. But that's in the affidavit.
And then let's say he was the shooter, so he was able to sprint with the 12 gauge and then be able to fire, set a mass, and hit the agent.
We don't know. We don't know what the
I said if he was able. If
he was the shooter. If.
Yeah.
So apparently, well, I mean, yeah, but he had 3 knives on him too.
Sure, this article
is trying to wonder.
It's helping reinforce whatever Vocali said. I mean, this shit is staged.
You know,
I mean, you can believe that it's staged if you want to. That's fine. I think it's fine. If you want to hold that belief, that's fine.
I'm just wondering.
I'm not going to argue with you.
You were just saying. And think about it. If he was trying to, really shoot a lot of people, I think he would have had an AK or something else. Because that shotgun's not going to do too much at one time. The AK is going to spray.
Well, he didn't have it. He was at 12 gauge.
Exactly.
AKs are that easy to get. You get an AK-47 from Walmart or Dick's. What's wrong?
Yeah, it's a 12 gauge shotgun. What are you talking about?
No, I'm just thinking if he was, he was out there trying to do a lot of damage, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe it was staged because that guy out there trying to actually hurt some of those Secret Service people. He's gonna carry something that can shoot more rapidly.
No, but he didn't want to have bullets that would go through the wall. He put it in his manifesto. That's why he chose a shotgun.
Yeah, we're talking about the manifesto that was written on Clubhouse?
No, it was ChatGPT, not Clubhouse.
Yeah, let us be clear. After studying the assassinations and the assassination attempt, say, from Lincoln even, and how he was assassinated, if you look at John Fitzgerald Kennedy, who was assassinated, if you look at his brother Robert Francis Kennedy, and those executions, etc. And if we look at some attempted assassinations, even on Barack Hussein Obama, some of those assassinated. But one thing I studied about all of those people that were carrying out assassinations, a guy just want to shoot through the window is like an op or something that if he intended to hurt or kill or assassinate somebody, then if he could get that clear shot at that point, he would have carried it out in an hour that he knew that he could shoot it. So if it was a prank, I think a prank from the very beginning, middle, and end is a form of fake news. Just from my estimation, you might see something differently. But if he wanted to shoot Donald John Trump, then he would have shot him. Because he could get that same access 24/7. So he would have timed it differently, quite differently, and just shot him. If security is that vulnerable, that's another thing that.
Well, it was.
He's going on record saying it's the same thing at the insurrection, supposed to have been the safest place at the safest hour, but at that time the security was most vulnerable. The equation doesn't make sense.
I mean, it was vulnerable, but y'all don't want to believe it. Y'all just don't want to believe it. Y'all just don't want to believe that where we live, as what Dan said yesterday, this place is ghetto. It is ghetto.
Jerry, I have no problem admitting that. I speak on this like pretty much every time I open my mouth. Like the incompetence in this administration, but it's not just this administration. If we were gonna go deeper, I can go all the way back to during the time Barack Obama was president. We can find incompetence somewhere there. Alright? But this is not, I'm not gonna talk about Barack right now. The point is, yes, the incompetence is there. But that being said, I'm also just not ruling out, based on what I've seen, that this thing was in some stage. For what 6 specific reasons they're doing it, I don't know. I can only speculate. I have no idea what the rationale behind it is, but two things can be true, right?
That's it. Attempted to get the attention back on him. Not the first fake assassination attempt was just to get the attention on him.
But why did that? I guess I'm just trying to follow along, like, because I'm not opposed to the idea of it being staged, but I don't understand why would he need to stage an assassination attempt at this particular point. All eyes are already on him. Like, we're in the middle of a war. Your approval rating is at an all-time low. So you having a failed assassination attempt in the middle of all this doesn't get you any sympathy. So I'm just trying to figure out exactly why this would be staged. Like,
Nobody said they're smart.
That depends on who you
Because his approval rating is so low that he thinks that he'll get the base back together if he had an assassination attempt and went through it. Because that one where his ear was bleeding, they really did unite over him. My neighbor had a Trump shirt with his bloody ear and it said "fight, fight, fight" less than 24 hours after the shit happened. So that could be the real reason.
What about less traction and less attention on what's going on in Iran? You know, the thing you said that he had under control?
Yeah, I was surprised.
What if we start with the list of reasons that could be?
I mean, but that's just for 2 days, though. I mean, like, the war is not ending anytime soon. So I mean, that's a temporary distraction. Like,
Okay.
it's one thing. It's one thing.
So when they do it, do you think they know how long the distraction is going to last for? When it happens?
I mean,
they have a crystal ball and say, okay, if we do this today, we have exactly 2.5 weeks to have you know what I mean? Like, what are you saying, bro?
well, I mean, I guess I would just hope that we're not going to be, distracted by another failed assassination attempt for 2 weeks. Like, I hope we're going to refocus by at least Tuesday or Wednesday of this week on everything else that's going on, because there's really not too much else for us to dive into this. I mean, he got charged today with attempted assassinating the president. So I don't really care anymore anything else about the case, honestly.
But that's huge. There's also 300 million Americans that are out there, right? You don't know what they're thinking, and you have no idea how far the administration is willing to go to milk this stuff. The other thing I'm going to ask is, it's going to be hard for me to take serious anyone who says the possibility of any leader. This doesn't just happen in America. Staging some attempted hit on them in hopes of, it doesn't necessarily have to be just sympathy. It could be something as changing the fucking news cycle altogether. Shit like this happens all over the world.
They learned it from Jim Jones when he did that shit with the fucking fake balloon and blood. Ketchup to be blood. Like, come on, yo.
And to the aforementioned, I believe strongly that this is, again, a war that he stumbled and fumbled us into the middle of the war. That instead of taking the blame, he'll take the sympathy. So I think that is just another hoax. Whatever he is.
Yeah, he could give two shits about sympathy. The point is, if he can change the news cycle, that's a win for him.
You reverse the polarity on the thing. And if he says no war, then goddamn it, you can see he's going to start a war. If he say the black job, I mean, he's not going to give black people no job. If he say that he wants to come in and examine the museum, means that he wants to alter the history in the museum. He wants to change the King Day. He wants to fumble and stumble with the Job Corps. He wants to play the goddamn race card. Well, we're tired of playing with this guy. We're differently put together. That Kendrick Lamar says, they not like us. We don't go around starting wars and dropping bombs and doing things because you have. That's the thing you charged Iran, not holding a discipline. If you were to get the bomb, Iran, that was the charge. That they don't have the discipline not to drop the goddamn bomb. And he showed that he not only will get the bomb, but he'll drop that bomb unnecessarily and spark off a war, what they call World War III. And I say it's still a goddamn war on us. When the dust settles and smoke clears, it's still the war on us, we the people. I say bye.
Can I ask one question? Would that be okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this Cole Allen has been charged with charges that have a penalty up to life in prison, and that would not be unusual. in this particular case because he's charged with, attempted murder of the president. What, I understand somebody said, oh, they'll give him a year in jail. I don't think that's true. What's in it for him? What's he going to get?
Oh, I see what you're doing
If
there.
it's staged.
That question is directed towards me. I'll answer.
Okay, Lord. No, for anyone who thinks it's staged, you have to give me something really big for someone to take
No,
the
it's not.
chance.
I'm not gonna give you the bullshit answer of no, he's just gonna be in prison for 2 years and they'll free him. No, fuck that. He's probably never gonna be in prison. Or if he does go to prison, maybe there is something else, some kind of a benefit that you and I are not supposed to understand. This shit like that happens in this real world. I hope you believe that. Now, I know you're going to get out of this and be like, what has happened to this man? He's now a conspiracy theorist.
I'm just saying we have no evidence of that. We know that the Butler guy was killed. We know that the guy in Utah is still in jail, right? What is the evidence here that somehow he's going to get out?
Wait.
Because,
I am not making that claim, just to be clear.
Can I bite on this? Can I bite on this, please? Thank you. Let me bite on this. I think that there are enough unhinged people on all sides of every spectrum that they could instigate, infiltrate, influence him, whatever, gas him up, get him riled up, to have him be in this moment and even allow security to be lax enough so that they could get him to the point of doing this thing, but then be able to shut it down so nobody actually gets hurt.
okay, so you're saying he's a dupe. You're saying he's a dupe, basically, that he was duped into doing this, and the people who are really responsible were the Secret Service agents who were told not to kill him, and whoever was security there who was.
No, I don't know if it goes all the way to security, but I can say this. I think that there's enough mentally unstable people to do something like this, and they may be allowed it to happen, but at the same time, I'm just wearing my tinfoil hat here. I'm throwing out random ideas of where it could happen. There's enough unhinged people to fall into this trap of doing something for somebody who may be associated with the government, may be directly working for the government, or working on behalf of the government on the low.
Spiritus, here's the thing. Every once in a while, we hear about a foiled attack or a potential. The one I remember that wasn't long ago was an attempted hit on George W. Bush. The person who foiled the attack was an FBI agent that had been going back and forth with an individual, and to some extent even encouraging the guy to make the move and everything so they could arrest him. Do we live in a world where there's a possibility that some individual unhinged or fucked up in the head, or maybe might have been someone sharing stuff on Reddit, and boom, an actual FBI agent behind a computer screen decides to buddy up this individual?
Well, given the backdrop of all the sequential order of the
Lord, are you
security,
finished?
he could really easily.
Lord,
Detail is fighting it.
Sir.
Ambassador, Ambassador, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Lord wasn't finished speaking.
Yeah. All I'm saying.
Let's let him finish his thought.
I honestly lost it. But all I was gonna say is, there is a possibility that what Spiritus said, that this individual might either have been duped altogether, like the FBI does this all the time, where they find unhinged individuals planning to commit something, and it's actually, believe it or not, it's the same way they catch people that are selling secrets that have been stolen from the United States. 90% of the time, the individual that's actually trying to hand this over to some Chinese spy or the Russians, or maybe it's not even the Russians, it could be our own allies, the EU, it could be the Canadians. Half the time they're talking to an FBI agent, they have no idea that they're talking to an FBI agent, and they think they're talking to the individual working at an embassy. And at the moment when they're supposed to deliver the whole thing, boom, all of a sudden the FBI shows up, a press conference is done, U.S. attorney for some so-called district appears, and boom, today we have caught this individual, and then give you a whole press statement. Under this FBI, we're doing an incredible job. We're making sure no stone is left unturned. It's their favorite line when they're talking about this stuff. Anyway, I know I'm rambling at this point. I'm just gonna.
So I have a question. But I do have a question. So, but then that wouldn't be a staging. That would be more or less entrapment.
Yeah, the only thing is, Sherry, again, this is Donald Trump we're talking about.
But if you're gonna throw around terms, that to me, that borders more on the line of entrapment than a staging.
Sure.
Okay, now I'm going to be even more conspiratorial.
Okay, go ahead, have at it.
Imagine a scenario. Tira, let's say the president opens up the PD. Well, Donald Trump doesn't read, so this thing is not going to work. But let's just say Marco Rubio, because he would get a copy of the PDP, is reading through stuff, and JD does it, and then they decided in their deliberations with the president, they were going to share information about someone who is attempting to assassinate the president or is planning to do something bad. I could see a world where Donald Trump will be like, if not him, someone in his administration. Again, he doesn't have to be the only evil or the genius behind all these things, right? It could be someone in his administration and say, we might be able to use this guy for something. How about we wait on XYZ date and, just make sure the environment is controlled enough that he doesn't get any further. And then maybe we could use this to kind of influence the news cycle or bring things to our advantage. Again, I'm just throwing things out there, so I just don't put it past Donald Trump's administration to cook something.
Well, given that is your backdrop, sir, or your backdrop, and given the total real sequential order of the current events and current social, political, as well as the assassination, the war, etc., given the total backdrop, he could easily earn himself a proverbial Trump pardon for any dastardly deed, any major offense against the state or against the nation or against the president, because of just the fumbling and stumbling pattern to this particular administration. So I would never put anything outside of what they have done and what they are actually doing at this hour. But I still say, my, they look horrible last night, and I don't see them looking any better in the future. My.
Yeah, so I just, listen, the motivation, everything makes sense. I put it in the chat as well. The profile is just not making sense. The script just isn't quite well thought out as the other ones. I just find it very hard to believe that the super duper educated teacher from California agreed to be a part of this plot. I just don't, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Usually I get a better backstory of the Trump person, raised, by parents, and the parents are just like, oh my God, I never thought our child was capable of this. That's the profile of somebody that would do something like this. I just don't see the master's educated teacher from California agreeing to be a pawn in this. I don't know. It just doesn't. That's why I said the staging just doesn't make sense to me. It could very well be, but nothing in this administration makes sense either. So I guess anything is possible, but I'm just not buying.
Can I give a little more of a backstory, because I don't think it's exactly as has been said. Yes, he's obviously incredibly smart. Caltech is an incredibly difficult school to get into, very stressful, very hard. So clearly very intelligent. He graduates from Caltech. He works for a year at some sort of computer firm, and then he leaves, right? And for 6 years, except for getting the master's, he's been trying to set up a video game. Looks like it was relatively unsuccessful. He has done a video game, but he didn't make any money out of it. So he winds up not exactly being a teacher. He actually was a tutor for SATs, right? He works for an educational tutoring service, which means, kids who are about to take the standardized tests come to him 2-3 hours a week, whatever, and he goes through the tests with them. I don't know that he felt like a success, right? Because I don't think objectively he was a success at that point, right? He sees his classmates doing really well, and somehow he's still locked in trying to set up this game, which is, you know what I'm trying to say? I think he could be feeling very vulnerable. I think he could be certainly, somebody could convince him of things, because I don't know that we actually know that much past 2017 when he graduated. And we do know that he did get the master's at, Cal State, but that might have been the parents saying, look, you got to do more in order to get a job, right? We're all speculating wildly, but I don't know if he was as much of a success in his own head, certainly, as people have suggested.
Well, ma'am, I will assure you that Donald John Trump asked the pertinent cross-examination question during the last administration. He asked the question at the 59 body bags in Las Vegas. Why does a man who literally has everything, not saying that the teacher has everything, but someone is not doing badly for themselves, why does a man who has everything, why does he shoot up the place like this? And he shot until he fired, they say nearly over 500 rounds to get the number one killer spot of 59 body bags at Las Vegas. So this person of interest could certainly have many scored for themselves and still commit a dastardly deed such as an assassination attempt on a president or by a network of people who would set up an assassination on a president. So there are many unanswered questions that we will likely get a few more answers to in the coming days. Of the investigative journalism crew will definitely be at work on this one and say, my.
Yeah, no, Tara, so I just understand what you're saying. You're trying to say, like, in the grand scheme of things, in comparison to, let's say, his peers from school, that, given his current circumstances and, the motivations highlighted in his manifesto, you think that would be enough to, say, enact this whole scheme or agree to be a part of this whole thing?
Well, I'm just saying, people were saying he was a big success. Why would he do this? I don't know in his own head, and once again, speculating.
Yeah, speculating, yeah.
That he felt like such a success. I think he could have been, potentially manipulated. I don't think I honestly feel it's highly unlikely that he went into this knowing that he was going to be, captured or whatever, you know what I mean? I think he was in whatever he was doing, but I think he could have been manipulated. I think that actually was the person who said maybe they manipulated him to doing this. The government could, I think is a possibility. That's all.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think the part where I've struggled with the most, y'all remember, what was it? Is it Mother Emanuel, was it Charleston, South Carolina? The church shooter, that manifesto.
Darling Ruth, y'all remember?
Yep, so right after that, we've had other ones. There was, I think, was it a store in Brooklyn, something like that? We also saw a manifesto. Buffalo, sorry, thank you. And those guys were pretty detailed about some of the weird shit they were doing and all that. It's just like, it sounded like the not so, I shouldn't say that, that's not nice. Fuck it. The not so educated Secret Service director who came up with that, literally. It was just sloppy. That's the word I've been looking for. It was sloppy. Like, unhinged, weird motherfuckers and all that. It doesn't matter whether they went to Caltech or not. Usually, there is some spice added to whatever fucking manifesto they put out there.
Well, given choice of weapons, etc., real assassination attempts will be plucking off people, and I investigated both killings in South Carolina and Charleston, as well as in Buffalo, New York, and up in Ithaca, etc. But on that strength, I would say that a real assassination attempt, they'll be plucking off people and not blasting glass windows and given choice of weapon, etc. I'll land my plane on the facts as you see them. Just saying, my.
Dude, am I making any sense? I know I've lost a bunch of screws up here, but
Well, I just assume it's because you keep getting injured in soccer. I'm just giving you grace for that.
No, it's like, I get it. The Sherry's argument about this is just pure incompetence, it's hard to kind of dismiss that because, yes, these guys are genuinely incompetent. I mean, you could see just the number of court cases they're losing on a day-to-day basis. That alone tells you everything that you need to know. But I don't know, maybe I'm just not putting it past Donald Trump or people within his administration to cook up some stupid shit for whatever reasons. I cannot think of the reasons. They might have their own logical reasons. Whether they're logical or not, it's up to them. I just don't know. But I'm also just not ruling out the possibility that the whole thing was staged. And, I've been around places that of the United States had to be at an event or some security is typically top notch. On either side of the aisle, whether it's Republican administration or Democratic, they're gonna shut shit down. Like you just. It doesn't fucking matter whether you're actually invited to an event, you have something. You're gonna go through some sort of screening, and you're gonna know someone very important is over here. You're just not gonna come and sprint through stuff without people getting you. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. Part of me also just thinks that it's a very Luigi-like type situation. So
That's actually a good point.
I can believe that as well. Just somebody who a couple years out of pocket, not really doing much, kind of stewing in his own thoughts and whatever, seeing what's going on, being upset with it, and then, deciding to, make his move. So there could be that, which doesn't take away from all the shit and the incompetence and all of that stuff, but it could very well just be like a Luigi style type person, and it's actually really sad.
Usually, when the president is, irrespective of where he's traveling, the area where his plane is supposed to be, usually they shut down the airspace altogether. If you all remember, during the Biden administration, there will be times when go back to his home in Delaware, and they will talk about there was an incident where a plane basically came close to the area where it was restricted, and they had to kind of like redirect the flight, stuff like that. It's just, again, that was during the Biden administration. And Ben asked the question yesterday. We never actually dealt with the question on stage, but I've been thinking about it a lot. How come you make a threat right now to the president on X? Well, by the time you get off your phone, there are 2 Secret Service agents from some field office nearby showing up at your door. But 90% of the time, whenever someone does something like this, boom, all of a sudden it just happens. And with Donald Trump, how many times do we start saying, okay, some things are just not adding up?
Can I just throw in a little more confusion? I'm trying to understand the manifesto, which now I read 3 times. What's the part about accept Cash Patel? Like, that's really throwing me, that's a curve right there. And it also doesn't help the, I don't know, it feels like it's more along the lines of, now what you're saying. When I read the Cash Patel thing, I'm like, what the fuck is that now?
Yeah.
Now that makes it even more confusing, but
maybe he's a hockey fan, or maybe he's drinking buddies with Cash or something.
Oh yeah, right. That's right. Yeah.
What would be funny? If it turns out this whole thing was done as a means of trying to get rid of Cash Patel, because, there's been rumors of trying to get rid of him, and now all of a sudden they could be like something is suspicious. Or, I have another conspiracy theory. It was Cash, he himself, who orchestrated the whole thing. I mean, after all, he's the FBI director. He does have the capability of authorizing something. But it would be weird though for him to do that and then say, "Except Kash Patel," when all indications are this man might be on his way out. I don't know.
Maybe
The whole
that's
thing-
why. Maybe he figured Cash about to get fired anyways, so he's not a target. Everybody else, I'm finna take y'all out.
Yeah.
But also to the people who are saying that like maybe he was radicalized or indoctrinated by like FBI or like a secret agent, I feel like that's getting kind of super in the conspiracy realm. I'm also a person that thinks it was staged, but I don't think anybody in the administration, anybody that's left in the CIA, FBI, is that skilled at getting somebody who's a Caltech graduate to be like radicalized.
That's very
I don't
wrong.
necessarily think.
There-
Yeah, I don't think that there's anybody that's able to do that left in the administration.
Oh,
But doesn't
no,
that
that
poke
is
holes? Wait a minute.
absolutely wrong.
Wait a minute, but that pokes holes in your theory about it being a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
You don't believe in the
No,
first
I
place,
don't
then
believe
you know
in
not to
the
follow up the conspiracy
radicalized
theory
Yeah.
in the first place.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, come on, y'all. Come on.
Radicalizing.
Sherry, that's Kiana. Make sure you direct that to Kiana because I'm not saying that. I just want to be clear. Anyway, actually, Kiana, believe it or not, there are very competent people that remain in government, despite the fact that Donald Trump is the head of state. The FBI is a fucking bloated agency. Like, there are going to be actual human beings that are there that you and I, we will never interact with. And those people keep working, irrespective of who the president is. The CIA is being ran by John Radcliffe. I mean, I don't think, it's what you have in the West Wing, there are still competent people out there that work in government. Obviously, the government as a whole is incompetent, but the institutions are working, believe it or not.
I believe that, but I'm saying that the people who are competent, they don't want anything to do with this. They're waiting it out. They're keeping their heads down and just waiting it out for this administration to be over. The people who are able to pull strings, like the people that work with Kash Patel, I don't think any of them are competent enough to radicalize a Caltech graduate. I don't think he needs to be radicalized.
Oh, no, they're competent. They're very
Yeah,
competent
like
people.
Andrew Bailey
Very
is, so Kash might be the director and all that, right? But the guy that actually runs the FBI is Andrew Bailey, and below him there are people at field offices across the country that are doing their job on a day-to-day basis. Yes, Kash might have gutted a few field offices because of whatever political stuff that he has, and it's not like he's replacing them with it's going to have to be actual individuals with this line of work, like this is what they studied or this is what they've done their entire life. There are competent people in government, or maybe if I don't use the word competent, there are people that know what they do. And the FBI still has individuals that are out there whose day-to-day job is to interact with weirdos.
I think that it's staged, and I think that I really want to see the prediction betting markets. I want to see if anybody put money on a shooting happening at the correspondence dinner. I'm surprised that there has been no news about anybody cashing out on any of these prediction betting platforms. But yeah, I think it was staged because I don't think you had to radicalize anybody. It's a money grab, right? They already have people in the army, people that are actively, serving, that have intel that are betting on these prediction betting markets. And so I feel like they could have just found any old guy, any old dude, and said, "Hey, you want to make a couple $100,000? Why don't you pretend to try to shoot up the White House Correspondents' Dinner?" I think it was that easy. I don't think that there was an actual effort into radical.
Yeah, but an old random guy wouldn't work. What if the narrative that they prefer is some guy from California who is a hardcore liberal leftist or whatever they want to call him?
And did they say he's a teacher? Hello?
Exactly. Like, come on. It's you're gonna have to, when they're doing stuff like this, they're gonna have to find individuals that meet a certain criteria. They're not just gonna pick someone because they were homeless and throw money at them, stuff like that. I don't know, man. It's so weird that I guess a few years ago I would kind of like outright dismiss stuff like this, but I guess I've drinking that clubhouse Kool-Aid so much so now some of my positions I'm like, what the fuck am I even saying? Yeah, there are still people in government that know how to do their jobs. Let's just put it that way. And yes, whether they're waiting out Donald Trump or not, they're still going to keep doing what they're doing. And that is, like I said, and if you really want to prove this, just start researching a bunch of weird shit. You'll find out very soon whether the government is working or not.
Okay, you guys finish on that one?
Oh yeah, we can you get back to Megan Thee Stallion?
Yeah. So I just saw a video of Megan Thee Stallion. I didn't realize it. She was courtside at the Lakers game last night. Imagine having a bunch of being a fan and getting up in arms about how horribly she was cheated. And yet, and she was cooking for his mama. And she made chicken legs.
Not this shit again.
And she made sweet potato pie. Well, she can't make that. And yet she was with some random guy last night. She's single already and already got a date for courtside.
Well, see,
What else is she supposed to do? What do you want her to do?
Well, the way you guys made it sound like she was so heartbroken,
I don't think anyone mentioned heartbroken.
Yes.
Why are we going back? We was just talking about conspiracy
No,
theories.
you're not gonna stop it. Let him keep cooking. Come on.
I don't
Alina
know.
says,
What is she supposed to
Alina
do?
says that was her hairstylist. Oh, so she wasn't there last night?
that was definitely Kellen, her hairstylist, and I don't even know if that was last night because I want to say she is still doing her Broadway show, and I could have sworn they had videos of her in New York.
Oh, okay. So she wasn't at the Lakers game last night. So she was doing the show.
I'm just saying, I don't. Wait, hold on 1 second. I'm just saying that, I know this weekend it was either Saturday or Sunday.
It was anyway last night. Oh yeah, it couldn't have been last night.
She had her show Saturday, and so there was video of her at the show, and then I want to say there was also video, I think that night, of her in the club Saturday night. But that video with her hairstylist was just that video with her hairstylist. But niggas want to put 20 on 10 and make her hairstylist her new nigga.
Yeah.
Anything to call her a whore. Anything to call her a whore.
Just something at the bait. Yeah,
We talking about Megan Thee
find
Stallion?
a way to blame her. It's
She's a Chicago.
weird. Plays
It's not
like
weird. I saw
not
a video.
good guy. He's not a good guy.
I saw a video. Who's not a good guy?
She was in the show. She was in the show on
Megan Thee
Saturday
Stallion is not a good
and on Sunday. There's a show 5 o'clock
How do
Sunday.
I know if she's?
Megan is a wonderful woman.
No, she's not.
I don't know whether these people are good or bad. Are you guys friends with these people?
Who's the one that's promoting what?
Okay, cool.
I don't.
Okay, cool.
So I just got one question, Ben.
He's a liar.
So what I was saying was, okay, so yeah, that was just a video. It was an old video. So
So you mean to tell me you ran in here with wrong information?
But part of it is I'm pretty sure. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I'm pretty sure Ben saw the tweet that some random man posted where they. Oh no, I was just saying. You probably saw the tweet that some guy posted, basically alluding to her being with someone else, and you took it at face value, which.
Stop being nice to this man, Brittany.
I'm just saying, a lot of
He
people
ran
take
in
stuff
here.
on.
He was about to drag these ladies.
I saw it was the Laker game, but I forgot the Lakers were on the road yesterday. I didn't see anybody.
Just chopping at the bit.
If you make your man look crazy, then you deserve to get. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I was wrong on that. So that was an old thing. Yes, let's hate black women.
Apology accepted.
It's not even about that she's black or not. It's this whole modern shit.
I'm responding to the chat. Shut up, little Trump. Yeah, that's right. Let me find other ways.
Yo, y'all niggas get away with a lot on this side.
Are you gonna shoot us?
Nah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. Cool. So, yeah, let's bash black women. It's so funny. In the last
Now
segment,
what?
I started my entire thing talking about how horrible Klay Thompson was as a person who could never be trusted, and he's gonna, do X and the third. But then all the arguments got remixed, and it's let's blast black woman. So I think what I'll just do going forward is to just go straight to bashing black women, because one's going to be blamed for doing that anyway. Sonny said the other day that all we ever do on the app is bash middle-aged black women. Was anybody in here for that?
No, but why would
Yeah,
you do that?
it was an incredible moment.
Why would
So
you do
I'll go
that?
straight to bashing black women. So what's the topic? Because I blame black women for it.
That's what you did start by bashing Meg.
We also
To be
found
fair,
out-
you
we also-
started by saying that she's not on his level, she's not an A-list,
She's not.
and then you compared how much money he's worth,
She's
how
not.
much money she's worth. Somebody
That's
said
not a
she
fact.
was on the same level.
Yeah, those are just facts. That's not
That's just
bashing.
facts. See,
Like
you
Google.
I didn't know who Klay Thompson was before her.
That doesn't mean
Yeah, because
anything.
you don't follow sports.
Hold
That's
on a second.
okay.
Hold on
No,
a second.
exactly. People that don't listen
Hold
to
on a
rap
second.
know Megan.
So because
The
you
people
don't-
that don't follow sports, I mean, there's a difference.
Exactly. People that don't
No, I can hear you.
Maybe
He got more money than her.
So because you don't know who somebody is,
He's a man.
that means they're not A-list because you don't know?
Well,
Who are you asking?
That's what I'm asking.
I mean, if you're a non-sports person, you might not know him. So I feel like, I'm not saying he's not A-list. I'm just saying that she is A-list.
Who's David
Like, she's
Solomon?
a mega celebrity.
Only certain demographics.
Hold on. Little chubby
She
young
literally
lady.
has a Popeyes endorsement.
All over the
She got a
world.
Just
Who's David
Tequila. She
Solomon?
got a Takis endorsement. She's
Who's
in
David
Walmart.
Solomon?
Like, stop it.
Who's David
Did you say
Solomon?
Taki?
Stop this. Yes.
Who's
stop
David
discrediting
Solomon,
white
Kamari?
men or black women.
Who eats Takis?
Who's
I don't
David
know.
Solomon? Oh, cool. Who's Lloyd Blankenfield?
Ex-chair.
I don't know none of them niggas.
Right. So my point is, just because you don't know an individual thing, or I don't know an individual person or thing, doesn't mean they're not A-list.
Okay, that's fine. So I was
And so let
hyperbolic.
me just continue. All right, cool. So I wasn't bashing her by saying he wasn't on her level. That's just a fact. As far as accomplishment in their fields, it's not even close. It's not close.
Why do you say that? Does he have like a lot of like championships or something?
Yes. Weren't you here when I went through it all?
No.
He got 4 championships.
I wasn't
I've
here
never
for
been
some of
able
the
to
conversation.
So you got it.
I wasn't here the whole
So you got half
conversation.
the
Sorry.
information. I got it. See how they all leave. So you got half the information, and not when I started by going off on him. Yes, he has 4 championships, more than Larry Bird. He's
I would have never known that if you didn't say it.
Okay, who's SGA?
Shy Gildress.
Okay.
Alexander.
We got one. Okay.
Again, so just because you don't know something doesn't mean that's put a silly thing. I don't know how many Grammys Beyonce has.
She got like
The most in the world.
Like, I don't know how many, but I know she got a lot.
She doesn't.
Why is Megan not an A-list?
She doesn't have the most in the world. That's
She does.
Yes, she does.
No, she
absolutely
does.
does.
What are you talking?
no, she doesn't.
Look at
She
it
has
right
the
now.
most.
Clay
She has the
Thompson.
most
Clay Thompson
Grammys.
has
Look
the
at-
most. Clay Thompson.
Okay,
has
I'm
the
not
most.
Grammys. Sure.
So anyway, let me continue what I'm saying. So because you didn't know that he won 4 championships, one of the greatest shooters of all time, and has made 10 times the amount of money she has, because you don't follow sports. So let me finish what I was saying. So I didn't bash Megan Thee Stallion. By the way, Megan Thee Stallion is not an A-lister by any stretch of.
Thank you.
I know you blacks think that your people who you like are A-listers. There are very few black A-listers. And in fact, there might only be a handful of black female A-listers. Huh? I know that hurts, but it's true. Yeah.
I feel like she's like a household name at this point. Like, I don't
No,
people
she's not.
that I don't know, like grown all kinds of generations are like they know Megan Thee Stallion, even if they don't listen to her. I feel like she's gotten to that status. I mean, she because of her like social media fame, her virality,
mean, you know, unfortunately, the bad publicity that has also been attached to her name, I do think she is a major modern celebrity. I just don't think that's
So I live in a
Ben, can you break it down for us with an A-list?
so I live in a so you're telling me if I go talk to my neighbors that most of them will know who Megan Thee Stallion is?
I do think so. Like, I really do. I sincerely think this.
Do you know who Ben's neighbors are?
Wait, can we just use an example of an A-lister woman and then compare them?
What world do you live in? So Julia
Beyonce.
Roberts.
And they
So
have
Beyonce is A-list. Julia Roberts was A-list. Meryl Streep was A-list. The idea that Megan Thee Stallion is in that category is crazy to go to the bathroom.
Just make sure you.
Well, why is
She
that?
might be a great performer.
A-lister, we can accept
Because
that.
you don't like her? That, like, you, is it because you feel like you don't rate her that way that she's not on that level for everybody else?
Y'all
She's
want to
not
do
on that
record sales?
caliber.
Let's do record sales.
Are you?
I mean, I'm just asking. Like, do you personally, you just don't think she's on that level, so you think that she's not?
No, she's not. Objectively, she's not A-list. She's not. That's not our opinion.
Not true.
She's not of that essence. She's not of that caliber. She's Megan Thee Stallion.
She
We respect her, but she's not of that essence, of that
Yeah,
cloth.
she isn't. She isn't. She's not
I do
A-list.
respect her though. I do respect her work.
So, what is she, B-list? Is she B-list? Or?
She's just a great artist. I don't even know where to. I would feel like misrepresenting her if I were to categorize her, but she's not A-list. I know that.
She's got 10.5 million
I mean, part
record
of
sales.
this for me as someone who likes pop culture is just celebrity is ever changing as a culture. There aren't that many A-list stars anymore. The engine is not producing A-list stars like that anymore. So it's not, for me, it's not that big of a deal to say, okay, Megan's not an A-lister because they're not producing them like that anymore. That's correct. That is correct. A-listers are going to be, they're going to be in the industry for a very long time, and they're going to be veterans. You do not have that many young A-list stars. It doesn't matter what metric you're using, whether it's sales, whether it's awards, all these other things. They're just the nature of the machine. They are not producing A-list stars like that anymore.
I agree with you 100%.
I feel like we used to like A-list. I feel like it was like just notoriety, just how recognizable you are as a star. Like if you go into most rooms and people know your name and like thoroughly, not just like, oh, I've heard of them before. Like no, I mean just like just a star with like mega exposure. I do think Megan Thee Stallion has amassed that for herself because of the landscape of social media, and she started with freestyling. Like that's how she got on. So I do think she's one of this class of like rappers, artists that have come up in this viral social media time, and I think she's done it. Like, okay, so do you think for me? Because I just think multiple rooms I can go in different generations, different races, and different backgrounds. Be knowing Megan Thee Stallion, like they know Megan Thee Stallion in my church. You know, they don't listen to that. Like, I could go to school tomorrow.
Does she go to a black church?
My student workers. I do go to the black church.
Yeah, so white people would need to, for her to be A-lister, the whites would need
White
to know
people,
who she is.
what white people do? White people be loving Megan Thee Stallion.
No, they
like,
don't.
I mean, I just feel like most of the
What world do y'all live in?
stan culture that I see around Megan, it do be like, it be a lot of white people. It be a lot of the white queers, of course.
They're not bumping Megan Thee Stallion in Brazil though.
People
Do
before,
y'all see?
if there's one thing white people love,
I mean, she was in Japan and she was late. Do y'all think that Doja is an A-lister?
No.
Doja
No,
Cat.
I'm not talking to you, Ben. I'm not talking to you, Ben. Do y'all think Doja is an A-lister?
Doja Cat.
I'm not talking to you either, little Trump. Do y'all think to the two? I'm talking to the people who are talking about Megan.
A-lister.
I
If Doja's not an A-lister, then Meg's not an A-lister.
Wait, one at a time. My grandma. That's how I'm thinking about it. Like, this is modern stars. If I can ask my mom or my grandma, or like my aunties, or like from any age range, and they'll know who this is and can name her, and like they know exactly what she looks like. They know some of her songs. That's what I consider A-lister. I feel like Doja, Like, I don't know if I can walk into any room and everyone's gonna know Doja Cat. I'm not sure. I do think she's had a lot of viral. I do think she's had a lot of viral moments, but kind of in more of a maybe like niche pocket for Doja, or maybe once upon a time Doja had that like recognizability. I don't know. Kiana, what were you gonna say?
I was saying, I feel like Doja is right under Meg or on the same level. So if I'm saying that Meg is an A-lister, then Doja got to be a B+ or A-. And I think a lot of people know her song like "Kiss Me More" because of commercials and stuff. She had a moment like.
Never heard it.
Hold on 1 second. I just
you definitely sang that song before.
I really want to impart with you both, and I say this as someone who loves Megan down. Doja is the number 2 when it comes to female rappers. If Doja is not A-list, and this is not me saying she is, but what I'm saying is that if Doja is not A-list, then none of them other little girls up underneath her, that includes my good, clean Houston sister Megan, none of them are A-list. Doja has the sales. Doja has the sales. Doja has the streams. Doja has all the things that make a thing as far as some of these metrics y'all want to go by. But at the end of the day, to Van's point, the last A-list rapper y'all had is reliving her glory days of when Pink Friday was a thing. There are no more A-list rappers. We don't like that. I said it. Gone are the days of the A-list. Mel had a very good question that Van answered, and I'm on the fence about Van's answer. But how many A-listers can you think of past 2016? Van only named one.
Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande.
And those are all before. Those are all before that.
So you're saying people who became famous? Okay.
Those are all before. The one Van mentioned was that was before too. Van mentioned Zendaya.
Yeah.
She came out way before.
Let me give you guys some advice as an older gentleman. Y'all need to cut off the black stuff for like 12 to 36 hours a week. Because y'all have no idea. Your average, you go to, you got people in the chat saying Cardi B A-lister.
You don't think she's an A-list celebrity? Like, maybe not A-list artist, but A-list celebrity?
No.
I think she's recognizable.
I mean, with all due respect, you black women are the most delusional people on earth. Your grandmommy knew who Anita Baker. She wasn't an A-list singer. They knew Freddie. That's our culture. A-list is the dominant culture. Tom Cruise. So I want y'all to hear what y'all are putting Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, and Dope in the same category as Tom Cruise. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all gotta cut the black stuff off for 36 hours a week. It's totally insane.
I do that all the time.
I'm almost done. Just because our parents know who they are doesn't mean they're A-list. Our parents know who Giselle Bryant is.
My parents doesn't.
I don't mean Giselle Bryant. I was just trying to think of a famous preacher. Tremaine Hawkins, whatever. Y'all, black people, this is going to rock y'all. Black people are not the dominant culture in America. I know that's going to hurt. And black women, and this is going to really hurt y'all, and outside of Nicki Minaj, and she's on the borderline, black female rappers are not A-listers. I'm sorry, I know that hurts. I know it hurts. I'm done.
Yo, Nicki Minaj is elite. Yeah, that's a good, yeah. Nicki.
Well, she was. At this point, that's a wrap now. I don't know when we're going to get, if we're going to get another rap girl over there. So that's a bow in that.
You used to be here, now you're gone. There. Like, come on, she is like, yo.
I mean, but to Britt's earlier point, I mean, there are very few A-listers now, even the white ones.
Yeah, man, they're not. You know what I'm saying? They're not really turning them out.
Well, no, because box office. When you talk about even films and everything of that nature, they're not these major A-lists as they once were. And I think Britt is right when you talk about this whole idea of going back to 2016. Is Wayne? I don't know where you got that idea that I never thought Megan Thee Stallion was an A-lister, but then that's just me.
Yeah, I think it has changed. Like, I think back in the day, there was only a small amount of people that were even called stars. So I think, of course, we've modernized. There's just way more opportunities for exposure, that there are more people that are, I would even call stars, that I, maybe wouldn't call A-list just yet, but have definitely become stars. So, I feel like it's expanded a little bit, and maybe that's what I'm speaking to, is that I think in this day and age, someone...
But it hasn't expanded. I just said it's frank. Even for who we call there are very few A-listers. I mean, now we can only name a few, and Ben just named one, Tom Cruise.
And he's he's not from the now era.
And that's old school.
In there, you know what I mean?
And that's old school.
Right. Y'all honestly believe that Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion are in the same category as Leonardo DiCaprio? Like, come on.
What about Ice Spice? I'm playing.
That's a troll. I don't know. I mean, in terms of like just sheer popularity, I'm not saying like talent and I'm not really saying that. But in terms of like A-list celebrity, like Kim Kardashian is not good at most things that usually people would become stars for. But I would definitely call her an A-list celebrity. Because she, is just extremely influential in pop culture. And I think Megan Thee Stallion is an example. I think Cardi B is also...
That's a good argument. I'm not gonna lie.
These are big celebrity people. Like, I think, some of the biggest.
Okay, is Megan Thee Stallion on Kim Kardashian
level? Modern artists. Like, I think Megan Thee Stallion has a mass appeal in that way that A-list celebrities tend to. Like, I don't think she's just some, kind of like run-of-the-mill, like Glorilla, we could say is very black famous, but Megan has really surpassed just black famous.
What number one hit did she have?
That's what I want to know. The last one I think was Savage, but...
Big on Free. Like a major artist that doesn't do, collabs very often. I think that's an A-list kind of pool. I don't...
Mr. Zillion said, wow.
That's TikTok.
Mr. Zillion said, wow, baby.
And I think... It was Big on Free or Savage. It was the WAP of it all that put Megan on that status. Megan and Cardi.
And they both lost their athletes.
These are extremely... influential people. That's what
you mentioned Kim Kardashian and her being an A-lister, and I don't mean to be controversial here, but for me, one of the things about the Kardashians and that family is, for as in quotations A-list as they are, the way Hollywood treats them and thinks about them basically being trashy and ghetto, and that being one of the biggest things that comes out of it is that they're trashy and ghetto. Like, they're very popular. Like, the GP loves them, but the institutions, all the things that make a thing, don't like them. And so I think it's very interesting, especially given that for all intents and purposes, Kim was the prototype of the influencer, in part with social media and a lot of the democratization of influence and popularity, where you can have these, as Mel said in the chat, micro influencers becoming, in quotations, famous. And listen, popularity doesn't mean anything anymore. Like, the machine is dead. It is okay that Megan is not an A-lister. It is okay that Megan is Black famous, that she has popularity, she has some crossover appeal. But I have to go back to what Ben said. I'm not putting Megan in the same conversation as no damn Meryl Streep or Leonardo DiCaprio. I barely know if I'm gonna put my good clean sister in a conversation next to Viola Davis and Denzel Washington.
There's no way that she's with Viola Davis.
I'm not gonna do that. That's not to say that my sister's not famous. That's not to say that my sister's not popular. That's not to say that my sister doesn't make music that I want to cut a rug to, or in my mind drive down the street thinking I'm gonna go rob a nigga to. I'm not gonna do that. I'm too classy. But it's also to say I know my sister's not an A-lister.
Breaking news. I just want y'all to know, do with this what you want. Choose the meat, spit out the bones. Megan Thee Stallion has 32 million followers. Klay Thompson has 16,000. Doja Cat 16 million, I'm sorry. Doja Cat has 24 million. Viola Davis has 12 million. So I feel like we're comparing apples to oranges with the different generations and stuff. As like of the people of today, of our time, she's definitely up there, okay? Let's not do that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but I mean, Viola Davis fans some of them don't even have Instagram.
A-listers are now based on, I mean, how many does Meryl Streep have?
How many people? I'll go look and see how many Meryl has. And I looked at Tom Cruise, he got like 11 too.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
She got on here.
But here's the thing.
Leonardo got 120 million.
Oh, Tom Cruise ain't shit then. Shit.
But here's the thing. You also have to think about global recognition. Okay. If you're talking about A-list, outside of the United States,
They have no idea.
Reach outside of
They love her in Japan. They love her in Tokyo. She got big reach over there. The anime people love her because she loves anime.
Igor said, "Who is Meg? I don't know."
Who is Igor?
But Igor,
I love Igor. I love him.
What do y'all people think? Why do people get offended by just because you like a person doesn't mean they have to be?
I'm not offended. I just feel like it's not making sense. Like y'all, and I think part of it is because you're comparing her to like y'all are comparing her to A-listers from E! News that y'all would see like 10 years ago on TV. It's not the same. Today the metric is followers on Instagram, TikTok. That's the metric of today. Yes, it is.
That's brain rot.
No, it's not.
Can we at least say that she's like internet A-list celebrity?
Let me give you three A-list musicians.
People on the internet, like, do you think that is a good qualifier?
It's not. No. Let me give you three. I don't know if they're human beings. I don't know what people are. People go to the biblical smoke. You think it's 700 people in there? Come in here. It's only 40 of us, and the other 260 are bots. Let me give you A-listers and people.
Yo, you're hilarious.
three women. Beyonce, Lady Gaga, and Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
If anybody in here says Megan Thee Stallion is in that category, I'm going to go shoot myself in my garage.
And I'm going to follow up and do the same.
Could we also add...
You're going to shoot him in his garage as well? Okay.
No, I'm going to do it to myself.
Ben, could we also add in Rihanna, or is it the fact that she hasn't released music in a
I just
while?
agree. I mean, I can name more because people are like, "Wow, you're comparing genres, and Tom Cruise is old." So let me really bring it home. Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and Lady Gaga, and I did the pop stars, the three different kinds of music. Massive stars. Based off that, if they're Megan Thee Stallion is legitimately a C- D+ compared to those people. And everybody here knows it. Everybody knows it. There's not one person who would book any event outside the strip club, maybe, who would choose Megan Thee Stallion over those three. Headlining a festival, speaker, et cetera. Now, if it's around those three,
I would choose Meg over Taylor Swift any day.
Are you talking about the Hennessy Thursdays?
No, you wouldn't. If you wanted to make money, no, you wouldn't. If you
hate Taylor Swift.
If you were organized, right? And so exactly because you're in your feelings. You're proving my
I would
point.
choose any of them over Taylor
Yeah,
Swift.
you're proving. You're proving.
No, we're talking about like looking at the numbers only. Now
You're literally proving my point. You're literally proving my point. That's exactly right. If you're like, oh, I want to make money. I want to make money and sell tickets. Nobody in their non-pro-black or online feminist fake mind would choose Megan Thee Stallion over Taylor Swift.
I would choose Jill Scott over Taylor.
In fact, okay, I'm done. Okay.
Oh God.
You know what?
I mean, I go with Ben, and if we really
bigger artist than her, does that make her not an A-list because other people
yeah.
are bigger than her?
Look at Rihanna.
Recognition.
Let's look at Rihanna. Would you put her over Rihanna?
Released an album in a long time. It's not a great example.
Ben,
But even her, like,
would you
would you
say?
pick her over her?
Ben, would you say that Adele has global recognition? Because I think she does.
Of course, Adele's an A-list celebrity.
Even though I haven't heard of Adele in a minute.
She hasn't released an album in a long time. But
I think.
But didn't she do a
there's tons
residency?
about her. Well,
I don't know.
her residency has been touch and go. It's been really touch and go. That relationship with Rich Paul has had that residency touch and go.
So we can mention Adele. We can mention Rihanna then. Rihanna's A-list.
I literally just said, okay, you mentioned.
Well, Rihanna didn't have that Super Bowl, even though she didn't. But you know,
She was pregnant, right?
She got hits. She has a repertoire.
but
You would pick Megan Thee Stallion over Rihanna? I wouldn't.
Rihanna's my cousin, so I gotta go with Rihanna.
You know what I'm saying? It's just a different.
I think Megan is a better performer than
let's not do this. Let's not.
No, you just don't do
this.
that.
This is just getting.
They can't
Let's don't do that.
I
might have to boom the room.
real. Rihanna, you know, her live renditions are, you know,
For real?
there's something that's left to be desired most of the time. I do think Megan has like a fantastic stage presence. She's a really good dancer. She's a really good performer. So, you know, when I think just the like reference wise, you know, I mean, I don't know if comparing, because she's not Beyonce, Taylor Swift, and Lady Gaga, that she's not A-list. I mean,
No,
And she literally has a Grammy with Beyonce. She literally has a Grammy with
Oh
Beyonce.
my God, that doesn't.
Like,
That doesn't mean anything.
That's like me getting a Grammy with a big deal.
I just want to say you're right,
I mean, an Oscars with Tom Cruise.
and I gotta go.
That's like me getting an Oscars with Tom Cruise. Like, yo, we got an Oscar. No, he got a fucking Oscar. I didn't do
No,
that.
that's not what that means. I mean, lots of people get Grammys. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, I just, again, go to your colleagues tomorrow at work. Ask the non-black ones and the blacks over the age of 50 who Beyonce is and who Megan Thee Stallion are. And literally, every single one of them will know. Oh, Devon got it off Google. It must be true.
you're literally making the same argument, though. You're saying that we said because we don't, he's not an A-lister, and you're saying, well, the white people at your job don't know who Megan Thee Stallion is, so she's not an A-lister. So
Correct.
neither of them are A-listers with your logic.
Wait,
That
neither
makes
of
sense
who?
to me. I'll
Wait, who?
concede that.
Wait,
Neither
neither
Klay
of who?
Thompson nor Megan
No,
Thee Stallion
Beyonce.
are A-listers.
I didn't
because
say
white
that
people
Klay
don't know
Thompson.
that.
I didn't say Klay Thompson A-list celebrity. I said in his field, he's much higher than she is. That's
You
what I
in her
said.
field, but she's very high in her
That he
field.
is out. That
You just
Megan
said
and
there's
him are
no
not
other
in the same
rappers
league.
are.
That's what you said. You said they're not in the same
You know
league.
how hard it is to win a championship? I'm sorry.
He won 4 championships and made $300 million.
I mean,
She's
was
also
one
at
second.
the top of her
You
game,
guys don't
though.
watch sports. He was the centerpiece to arguably the greatest team of all time. You literally don't watch sports. Now you're gonna tell me that.
I literally don't watch sports, but I know who Angel Reese is. I know who Caitlin Clark is. I know who Stephen Curry is.
Someone to tell you the direction of where this conversation is going.
Until he got.
I think not. That's undeniable basketball player. But I think knowing Steph Curry and not knowing Clay is crazy.
So if you know who Angel Reese is and Asia Wilson, and you're a black lesbian, by the way, that means you know sports. Who knows a bunch of lesbians in the WNBA, and therefore you know sports. Y'all hilarious.
Also, Stephen Curry and LeBron are lesbians too.
Wait, you know Steph Curry. How do you not know Clay? The Splash
He
Brothers.
doesn't watch sports.
I don't watch sports. No, that's because
Here we go.
Aisha.
Wait.
And because
What
of
am I One mic on me. Kiana, who was the number one pick in the draft on Thursday, since you watch sports?
I didn't say I watch sports, and I don't know. I just said that I know who Stephon Curry is and LeBron, all of them, regardless of me watching sports. Those are A-listers. And I watch LeBron show on HBO where they in the barbershop. That's an A-list athlete to me.
And so my point is,
I know who Shaq is. I know who Magic Johnson is. I know who Michael Jordan is.
Right.
I didn't know who Clay was till he
It's
got
like you know them,
You're all over the
even
place.
if you're not.
Yeah.
Y'all literally cut out Tom Cruise and Leonardo DiCaprio, but I'm all over the place.
You just cut Kamari off. You went off mute. You started. Kiana, let's.
My bad. I'm sorry, Kamari. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was talking over you
While you
a
share
lot.
speak, boo.
No, I'm sorry. It's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. I was just saying, like, I feel like A-list, it means, like, no matter if you're into this specific genre or medium, most people know who you are. That's just my reading of it, you know? So I think, I don't watch sports at all, but there are so many basketball players I know because they're just that famous, you know?
Because what?
Because they're just that famous. You know, like, I didn't need to watch the sport to, like,
They show up on Dancing with the
know
Stars.
them as their celebrity. And that's just what I think of the A-list celebrity is, like, you are recognizable by all kinds of people, even if they're not into the
So that doesn't mean that her and Clay are on the same level. I don't think Clay's at the tail end.
That's okay.
Okay.
Are there levels to A-list on
Clay was at the. Hold on, little chump. You're talking too much. When Clay was winning championship, people knew who he was. I didn't say he was an A-lister. Now I just said he is at a higher level in his field than she is. Certainly at their peaks. Who disagrees with that? Y'all think that Megan Thee Stallion is at Klay Thompson's level of basketball? Please, y'all don't watch basketball. What's going on?
I'll tell you where I disagree. But before I do, I just want to ask you a question. Who's Stephon Curry?
Oh, God.
He's the easy
He's a very famous scientist who revolutionized the motion.
Divine, what's the generation gap? Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion are only 5 years apart.
I feel like there's a generation gap between the opinions of the women that are speaking and your opinions on what makes someone an A-lister. I think their generation is just categorizing A-listers differently than you are.
Then that would mean it's not. If it's contingent upon the generation, then by definition, they're not A-lister because 16-year-olds to 86-year-olds passed out for Michael Jackson. So by definition, if it's bound to a generation, it's not. They're not an A-lister. Let me give you an example. Time to Not was a big deal for people who were streamers and incels and whatever between the ages of 18 and 26. He wasn't Michael Jackson.
Yeah, it's just called clout. And kids don't, you know what I mean? They're just kids on that.
And to that end, I do not think anybody, including those who said Megan was A-list, would call Kaisa not A-list.
So he was definitely an A-list streamer.
Well, I mean, yeah, but just A-list generally, no.
In the hills, you know what I mean? You know, worldwide, like, would you guys say that Speed? You guys know Speed? I show Speed, or you know that guy? Hey, he's all over Africa. He's all over all the countries, China, and all this. He's A-list streamer, Kaisa Nat level in their fields.
No, there's talent. You're a streamer. What is his talent?
What's Kim Kardashian's talent?
Kim is not A-list.
She was considered at one point in her career.
All right.
Kardashian's not an A-lister.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ben got.
Wait, Kim Kardashian is not an A-list celebrity?
I put it in the middling group. It as an A-list? No.
Well, anyway, the point is that female rappers are not A-list. I'm done speaking.
The man scored 43 points with only 4 dribbles, man.
I said, who's the first person in the draft? She said, I watch sports. I said, who's the person in the draft? She said, what sport? What's the draft last week?
Oh my God. I never said that I watch sports.
He's an Olympic gold medalist.
He was trying to have them make money so that they didn't have to go to Russia. I did tune in just for the streaming. I said, let me just turn it on.
Wait, you said
Brittany Griner.
Hold on. No black chick. So Lauryn Hill is not an A-lister?
No.
Well,
Not with her late ass never on time.
Very
But
big
you don't
impact.
have to compare Megan to you don't have to compare Megan to Britney. You could just compare her to Angel Reese because they literally are besties and they go out together, so they're on the same level. That's how I see it. They're in the same circle. They're in the same circle.
I wouldn't consider Lauryn Hill a rapper. I mean, she was as what they call it.
She's a melodist, right? Melodist.
Yeah, she did sing her ass off. Yeah.
No, but she also was the lead in a movie that made probably $100 million.
Oh shit. What movie was this? I could watch it.
Sister Act 2?
Sister Act 2.
Hello?
I'm on culture. I'm sorry.
She just performed at Coachella like 2 years ago.
That doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, so Kiana, you understand, like, at least like somewhat of basketball, right? The dude bounced the ball 4 times for 43 points. Do you understand that?
She doesn't watch sports. So, no.
Like the idea of bouncing a basketball only 4 times.
I get that idea because I have watched a number of basketball games. Not as late, but I get it. I understand.
I have watched basketball games. I used to go to Wizards games all the time because my dad helped build the stadium. That doesn't change the fact that I didn't know who that nigga Clay was until he got with Megan Thee Stallion. I know the A-list basketball.
I got one. Megan Thee Stallion in the NBA is like, it's Beyonce.
Please stop.
She's like Julius Randle. That's fair. I think she's like Randle. Or the Middleton. Y'all remember Middleton for the Bucks?
Yeah.
That's kind of where she
I thought you was going to say she could be one of the Jaylens because they got like 30 Jaylens in the NBA. I thought you was going to say that.
No. She'll make a big shot. She could be a corner piece of a championship team.
Allegation bashing.
Who's this WAP anyway? Isn't it like 6 years old? Is it 5 or 6 years old?
Everybody's A-lister because they're black. Devon had her on A-list because she was on Broadway. Cedric the Entertainer is on Broadway.